He asked if there was any value to Latin and Greek. I think there is. I had to take 2 years of Latin, I remember, in school. I can't remember any of it today. I remember a little bit. I remember the teacher used to go around during the exam saying, tempus fugit, time is flying. That's all the Latin I think I know. But the problem is I wouldn't put it in a homeschool curriculum. The reason I wouldn't is because there's only so much time, and I'd be worried about what I was subtracting. But this is a question of judgment. Some people will say, if you learn Latin, that's the basis of other languages, and it's the basis of your language. I'm familiar with all the arguments. That's why I had to take Latin, because you couldn't go to I wanted to go to Rice University at the time before I learned about Caltech. You couldn't go unless you took 2 years of Latin. And the scholars of the day believed this was very good for your development, and I think it probably is. It's a matter of choice. You have only so much time. How are you going to have the student spend his time? My prejudice is that languages can be done later, and that Latin, though it's nice, is not worth the time it takes, but that's my prejudice. It may not be the best way. Oh, yes. You go to a great university. Yeah, sure. You can't find it in a university. You go to a university today with a big state university with 20,000 students, and you won't find any Latin or Greek or anything.
I had a student with me the last couple of weeks in Germany.
I have Latin, yeah. That's right. It is, I think, a very valuable thing to study. I would not put it in a curriculum because of it's my judgment that it's not as valuable as some of the other things, but I won't say that that's true. I'll say it's my estimate that it's true. And it's this tragedy that it's not in the schools. If they're going to do all kinds of subjects, imagine the things they've got in schools instead of the Latin or the other things. But they're dropping not only the Latin and things like that, they're dropping virtually all great literature. All the great literature of the English language is being dropped. And this is hard to believe, but it's true. They're dropping all of it. And even in English, let alone the Latin. So the Latin is probably left over from the days in which all scholarship was in Latin, right? If you go back a few more generations, that all the scholars in Europe, well, like even scientists. Isaac Newton did his great physics book. It was in Latin. He wouldn't have thought of writing it in English.